Have you been tackling depression with all the usual advice and still feel stuck? You've heard about challenging negative thoughts, you practice mindfulness, you work hard at sleep hygiene, yet your symptoms just keep hanging around. What if I told you that there are lesser known but incredibly powerful skills for depression that most people, maybe even your therapist, have never discussed with you? Today, we're diving into 5 surprising depression remedies that could change how you face your mental health journey right here on the Growth Mindset Project. Before we unlock these game-changing skills for depression, don't forget to subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and hit the bell so you never miss out on future videos that can really transform your mindset, mental wellness, and life. All right, let's jump right in. Chances are you've covered the basics in depression treatment. If you're watching this, you already know about mindfulness exercises and sleep strategies, and you put effort into reframing your thoughts. But sometimes the standard approach feels like fighting with one hand tied behind your back. That's because depression is complex. It isn't just a matter of changing thoughts or sticking to routines. Sometimes it demands deeper, less obvious skills that don't get enough attention. Today we're putting the spotlight on 5 surprising skills for depression that you might be overlooking, and each of these strategies could give you a vital edge in your recovery. Our first skill is exposure therapy, but not the way you're probably used to hearing about it. Exposure therapy gets a lot of attention for helping people get past anxiety or PTSD, but most people don't realize it can be revolutionary for depression too. Here's why. When you battle chronic depression, pleasant emotions like joy or excitement can feel risky, even scary. If you've been lost in numbness or hopelessness for a long time, moments of genuine happiness may trigger dread, the fear of losing something good, or the expectation that it won't last. You might even find yourself avoiding situations or activities that could spark pleasure, not because you don't want to feel good, but because the fall back into depression seems unbearable. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Ironically, staying in that numb void feels safer because there's nothing to lose. The problem? This avoidance traps you in endless cycles of misery. To break free, one of the essential skills for depression is to gradually expose yourself to feeling good again. Just as with anxiety, repeated safe exposure is the only way to build tolerance to the unfamiliar feeling of happiness. Or, put another way, to remind your brain that joy isn't dangerous. Instead of shutting down or running away from positive moments, practice being present with them. Try to notice the urge to question, compare, or sabotage the good, and simply allow yourself to feel, even if it's awkward at first. Our next skill is assertiveness, a true unsung hero in depression recovery. Many people think of assertiveness in the context of workplace negotiations or setting boundaries, but it's also one of the most direct ways to rebuild your self-worth. Depression often convinces you that your needs don't matter and that everyone else should come first. When you're not assertive, you end up in a passive communication pattern where you consistently put your own needs beneath those of others. Over time, this feedback loop cements the belief that you don't deserve respect, which can deepen your depression even more. Learning to communicate assertively is about giving your own thoughts and feelings equal footing with those around you. Passive communicators shrink from expressing themselves. Aggressive communicators bulldoze others. Assertive communication, though, is balanced. It means saying what you need calmly and directly while respecting others' rights to do the same. If this feels foreign, that's okay. At first, acting as if you matter may seem fake, but it's a practice. The more you do it, the more your brain starts to internalize that belief. You weren't born feeling unworthy. Somewhere along the way you picked up that lesson, but with this skill for depression, you can actively start unlearning it. If you're still here, let me know in the comments. Which of these skills for depression have you never tried before? Hit that like button if you're finding this helpful so far. Let's talk about the third surprising skill for depression: positive reinforcement. Now you might be thinking, Isn't that just for training pets? Actually, it's a fundamental psychological principle that many of us forget to use on ourselves. Depression blunts your ability to feel rewarded, making every effort seem pointless. When you push yourself to get out of bed, or go to work, or do the tiniest tasks, it rarely feels like enough. Your inner critic tells you that nothing you do matters, and after a while, you stop bothering. Learning to consciously reinforce your own efforts is a game changer. Positive reinforcement isn't just about treating yourself to a snack or a movie, though those rewards have their place. At its core, it's about learning to recognize and internally acknowledge your wins, no matter how small or invisible they are. Most of your victories in depression recovery are quiet and unseen by others, but you witness all of them. Practice saying to yourself, I see how hard you're trying. I know how hard today was, and I did it anyway. Celebrate effort over outcome. This skill for depression helps rewire your brain to expect pleasure and satisfaction from effort once again. The fourth skill for depression you might be overlooking is the importance of a comprehensive physical health check. So many physical health conditions, like vitamin deficiencies, thyroid issues, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, even mild chronic illnesses, are linked to mood problems. Yet it's easy to assume that feeling bad is just your depression. If you haven't had thorough blood work or a physical health checkup lately, consider advocating for it with your doctor. Even if getting tests isn't always easy, finding and treating an underlying health problem could make your depression much more manageable. Sometimes, addressing a simple vitamin deficiency or a sleep disorder can make a bigger difference than any antidepressant or therapy strategy. Quick reminder, if any of this is new for you, or if you're feeling inspired to try a new approach, please like this video, subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project, and drop a comment below. Your feedback helps us create the kind of content that makes a difference for you and others on a similar path. We're almost at our fifth skill for depression, a remedy that isn't so much a secret, but its role is underestimated. Sobriety. That's right. Taking a closer look at your relationship with alcohol or substances, even if you don't think it plays a huge part in your mood. Many people living with depression use substances as a way to cope, escape, or self-soothe. While there's no shame in wanting relief, there's a hidden cost. Every time we use a substance for positive emotion, it replaces healthier and more sustainable sources of joy. Think about it. How often do you reach for a drink or a way to escape and then go do something deeply rewarding or nourishing for yourself? Alcohol or other substances may temporarily lift your mood, but they often shut down the search for long-term, healthy happiness. If substances are your main tool for feeling better, it can keep you in the very rut you're trying to climb out of. Experimenting with sobriety, or at least reassessing your habits, makes room for genuine sources of positive feeling to return. That's what makes this one of the foundational skills for depression, though it rarely gets discussed in this context. If you try even a few of these skills for depression, you might just find some new momentum. Each of these strategies opens a door to a richer, more hopeful experience, not by denying the pain of depression, but by expanding the toolkit you use to face it. Ready to keep growing? Check out these videos next for more powerful skills for depression and psychological growth. Don't forget to subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and tap the bell so you never miss an update. Keep going. You're not alone in this journey.